Good morning, members of Southern Nigeria Middle Belt and Northern Minorities Forum. Good morning, fellow Nigerians. Please take a little time off and listen to this speech before we ask our questions. Please be patient. It's just a few minutes. You listen to it, then we raise our questions. Even if you don't listen to everything, listen to the speech.
Handed over Nigeria to the Fulani. Someone said Fulani is Yoruba's #1 enemy and that the British handed over Nigeria to them. This is not the truth. The British did not hand over Nigeria to the Fulani. Parliamentary elections were held in Nigeria on the 12th of December 1959. The result was a hung parliament with no clear majority to form a government. Zik's National Council of Nigeria and Cameroons, NCNC, came first with 2,594,577 votes to get 81 seats. Awolowo O's Action Group, AG, came second with 1,992,364 votes to get 73 seats. However, the Ahmadu Bello's Northern People's Congress, NPC, came a distant third with 1,922,179 votes to get 134 of the 312 seats in the House of Representatives despite getting less public votes. The above three major political parties in the election did not get enough number of the seats to form a government. An alliance had to be formed to determine who would rule. It was a no-brainer that Zik's NCNC and Awolowo O's Action Group should make a coalition government as they came first and second respectively. Awolowo O then humbled himself and volunteered to be a deputy prime minister or finance minister in a coalition government with Zik as the prime minister. This was because the Zik's NCNC party had more public votes and seats than the Awolowo O's Action Group. Zik invited Awolowo O's team to Asaba, the gateway between the Yoruba's western region and the Igbo's eastern region, to hold coalition talks. The talks were a clever ruse to keep Action Group's hopes high, so that Action Group would be kept distracted from meeting with other minor parties for talks, including Northern Elements Progressive Union with 8 seats, Mobile Aye Grand Alliance with 6 seats, Igala Union with 4 seats, Independence Candidates with 4 seats, Igbo Tribal Union with 4 seats and the Niger Delta Congress with 1 seat. Whilst the Action Group team was waiting in Asaba for a meeting with the NCNC, they read in the news that Zik and the NCNC had gone up north and clinched the deal with Ahmadu Bello on forming a coalition government with the NPC. Tafawa Balewa, a Fulani, would be the Prime Minister of Nigeria while Zik would be the figurehead Governor General. Even Nkrumah of Ghana was shocked. He asked Zik why, having spent so much energy fighting for colonial emancipation and then settling for a toothless bulldog grown when Nigeria needed him the most. Zik wrote in his autobiography why he did not form a coalition government with Awolowo O. In 1947, with over £13,500 raised from the Yoruba people and given to the NCNC, Zik had led other 6 prominent NCNC delegates to London to protest the obnoxious laws of Governor Arthur Richards. The trip ended in failure with backbiting, abuses and accusation of theft against Zik. Zik's opponents at the NCNC accused him of squandering the money and the trust of Nigerians. Zik replied, insinuating that the Yoruba on the team, that are Mrs. Funmilayo Ransom Kuti, Prince Adeleke Adoyin, and Dr. Rabi Ola Ranaim, were the problem. There erupted a heated and prolonged press war between Zik's political reminiscence in his West African pilot and H.O. Davis' political panorama in the Daily Service. This led to Igbo in Lagos rushing to buy machetes in large numbers, thinking a tribal war was imminent. The governor and his general secretary, Hugh Foote, quickly called Zik and H.O. Davis to order at the government house. Zik went away with the resolve that the Yoruba must not be allowed to rule over others in Nigeria. And afterwards in the Daily Service published the speech of Zik in 1949 about him being destined by God to conquer and rule over others. This, among others, will explain why Zik rejected a Wolau's offer of a coalition government in 1959 and instead worked with the Fulani. The Fulani had been reading Zik and the Igbo through the lens of his 1949 speech ever since. The Fulani way of neutralizing Zik when the opportunity came in 1959 was to offer him a powerless post, which surprisingly Zik and the NCNC dutifully accepted in place of being Nigeria's first prime minister. Zik had thought that the Igbo can easily manipulate the Fulani in place of the educated Yoruba. He thus manipulated Balewa to arrest Awolowo in 1962 and to have him jailed for 10 years in 1963. Zik also manipulated Balewa to remove from the western region the Edo, Arobao, Iri and western Ijaw that account for 70% of the oil wealth in Nigeria and created for them the Midwest region. Zik's hatred for the Yoruba gave the Fulani the impetus to rule over others in Nigeria. The Igbo coup plotters tried to undo Zik's mistake in 1966. And unfortunately, they killed other ethnic group leaders and left theirs, which resulted in the Civil War. Britain did not really hand over Nigeria to the Fulani. Nigeria was given over to the Fulani by the Igbo. However, to hold on to power in Nigeria, the Fulani enlisted the backing of the self-serving career politicians in England. Not many Igbo, especially the young ones, know this narrative. I don't think the Yoruba, even their elders, remember this. Has the leopard changed its spots? No. The Igbo people have always voted for the Fulani since 1959 and continue to do so. Thanks for listening.
Fellow Nigerians, you have listened to the narrative of this British person. The question we want to raise is, this has been the tradition ever since Nigeria came to be. This is the time the Fulanis will always remind us of how Zik played Awolowo. This is the time the Fulanis will remind us how Awolowo played Zik by making his people to carpet crossed. This is the time they will remind us how Zik went to the east to take over power from Eyo, Ekpo Eyo, or Eyo Ekpo. This is the time they will tell you that you can be the president. They are to dictate it. This is the time. They will tell many people from South, they will tell many people from Southwest, they will tell many people from Southeast, and even Middle Belt. This is the time they will tell you the Igbos and the Yorubas will never agree to come together. This is the time they will come out with another gimmick. All states are equal. We are all equal. And also, this is the time they will tell you that no culture, no tradition, no religion is superior to the other. This is the time they will remind us that every state has its autonomy, but with a hidden agenda. Mark that. This is the time it will go on and on and on to remind us how we quarreled, not the area we agreed to work together. If this narrative is true, how come it is the same Igbo that surrendered power to the north, to the Fulanis, that are now the object of ridicule, that are now qualified to be killed, that are now never to be the leader of the country. That is for the Igbos. How come it is the Fulanis that dictate the pace of our progress, even though they are very, very retrogressive? How come that Nigeria, which is a secular country, the Fulanis decided to pull out the carpet and have an enclave called Sharia State? This was not the handiwork of the Hausa man. The Hausa man is always peaceful, but unfortunately, they have been conquered, and ever since then, they have no voice. This is the time the Fulanis will go to the east, go to the west, and use some moles, people who are very gullible. You know them. We are not to be repeating that every day. This is the time they use them to divide us and rule. Must we remain their slaves? They are not progressing. They don't want us to progress. And we cannot come together. If the man that is threatening my life, threatening my right, maiming my children, raping my children, raping our wives, adopting them for ransom, banditry. What have you not? Armed robbery. Destruction of our economic crops. If the same group of people that are doing that to me are also the same people that are transgressing your own right, it means we have a common enemy. Let us not shy away. I am not professing war or anything, but we must have to resist them. We must have to resist them. Okay, look at a case. Now, you have Boko Haram, you have ISWAP, you have the Mayati Allah, you have Herders, you have another group that declared themselves as a bandit group. All these are from northern region. When we say northern region, I mean sponsored by the Fulanis. They are responsible. Even though it is not everybody. But when we say, when we have a proverb, when one finger brings oil, it will smear it on all other four fingers. There is no need shying away from the truth. Who is our head of state? And since he came, the tempo of killing, raping, maiming has gone up astronomically. Nobody can when we want to say anything, we say since 2015. Since 2015. Now they have taken the war to our territory. And no single person has been arrested. No single person has been tried. And if our people are able to have machete, they will be arrested for it. And they use our moles to arrest us. What has Eastern Security Network done now? You have terrorists. You have Boko Haram. You have ISWAP. You have Miyati Allah. You have headmen. You have bandits all over the country now. And some silly people will open their mouth and say, it's happening everywhere. Some of our dirty elders will say, cool down. Don't do this so that you will not be declared as somebody taking laws into your hand because you want to defend yourself. Because you are not folding your hands to be killed. Not that you are possessed a real firearm like they are giving. The Fulanis carrying AK-47, machine guns, rocket propellers, and name it. I'm not a military man, so I don't know the names of men. They have their own transport for moving arms and ammunition. They kill and they go. No person has been tried. In the southwest, the battle is between Amotekun and the Cow Fulanis. In the southeast, now they have declared a war on the entire zone, using our own military, our own resources, money derived from our resources, taxpayers' money. They are using it to destroy us. And people have the temerity to come out and say, what? What? The only language that will stop this nonsense. We have our governors. Some of them are behaving like classroom students, or students. They are subservient to northern governors who now behave like they voted them or they placed them. Anyway, some of them are really imposed on us and we did nothing. So why won't they be subservient to them? Southern, Middle Belt, northern minorities, come together before it's too late. You still have some few minutes to come together. Arrange yourself and speak with one voice. Speak with one voice. If it means going to the National Assembly to vote, vote the same way. If they are now to kill you, then you resist them. What have they done to you? Your wives raped, your daughters raped, your children kidnapped, ransom paid to them, your farms, your market, everything taken over. You are still talking, and now they have started bombarding Southeast. Military. This is a civilian regime. Military in civil regime. I'm ashamed. I am ashamed. On behalf of our group, we are appealing every time repeatedly to Southern Nigeria, Middle Belt, and northern minorities to come together. Otherwise, you can see it. That a country that is not under military dictatorship, no House of Assembly, no National Assembly, will be referred to. The IGP can just wake up and say, go and bring somebody. Take him to jail. I'm not even talking of the grown-up. We are appealing to you. Come together. That is where we will stop our preaching today. Come together and protect each other. If something is happening in the East, don't look at it like that is for Eastern region. If it is in the West, don't look at it as a matter for Southwest. If it is Middle Belt, don't look at it as a case for Middle Belt. May God bless us. Thank you.